buttons are pushed, and that means it's time in 3, 2, 1. Greetings, everybody. Welcome back to Core. We talk about video games far and wide. The entire industry is at our fingertips. I'm Scott Johnson with Bo Schwartz and John Jagger, and we're happy to be here. Hello to all the fine folks who joined us live in the chat room, and anybody at home, you're just as cool, too. I want to put out a quick note here before we get going. Dan wrote in, and I wanted to correct a couple things about our talk of OLED technology and whether or not the new Switch would that it would use less battery than the current device, and why Nintendo was reporting the same battery life. And he had a really interesting take. He works at Garmin. He says, just really quick, one of the commodities I manage at Garmin is LEDs and displays. Battery use on OLED is complicated because, like a normal display, the brighter you have it, the more battery it uses. Unlike a normal display, as you start the black and the dimmer parts of the image use less power. So will this translate to you guys playing a game that is dark, like a horror game, like Resident Evil, something like that? And would you get better life than you were saying than if you were playing something like Katamari Damacy, which is super bright and all of that? That's been the big question. Like, will OLED with more dark save more battery? It says, due to this and just generally how bright you set your screen, I completely understand why they aren't talking much about battery life. It's too hard to predict with OLED displays. It says their watches at Garmin have a huge range of usable battery life just based on what kind of splash screen you are displaying on your watch. Our non-OLEDs watches are much more predictable because it's, again, everything's lit all the time, so you know what those lives are going to be. Says one last issue is that the red, green, blue, one issue with the OLED technology is that red, green, and blue LED dyes derate. Does that mean derate how bright they are? Or can it be? I'm not sure what that means. Anyway, can be different curves over time. So, over time, the color reproduction can start to be off. Too much blue or too little red, for example, if there's not a way to calibrate the screen. LED backlit displays, all the LEDs derate their brightness at the same rate, so the screen may just be dimmer, but the colors will still be accurate. So, anyway, there's issues. OLED, we all get excited. It sounds great. My phone has an OLED screen. It's beautiful. I love it, but it's not perfect, and your battery life may vary. So thanks for that, Dan. We appreciate it.
We'll only know once we get our hands on one and can see for ourselves.
That's right. Not until we burn our battery down to nothing will we truly know. All right, let's get into it. A few things going on this week. Did you guys see these Diablo 2 cinematic updates?
I did, as a matter of fact.
So I'm blown away by these. They had said that they were going to do this, and it's easy in the miasma of dark Blizzard news it's with these things coming out at the moment they're coming out. It's a super big bummer for a lot of us because we're still sort of feeling the sting of all of that. But they had said during the presentation of the event where they announced the D2 Resurrected game, which was earlier this year, that they were going to be remastering all of the cinematics, the Act 1, 2, and 3 cinematics. And I don't know what else. I can't remember what else D2 had. And I thought, they'll, 4K, and it'll be remastered in that way, and maybe the colors will pop a little bit better, and it won't be all crusty looking like it did in 99, 2000, whatever. Like that all is going to get improved, but it can't really be that big of a jump, blah, blah, blah. Totally wrong, man. Holy crap. These are amazing. They've only released the Acts 1 and 2 in video form so people can see it. I'll put a little bit of this up on the screen so you guys can see the before and afters. There's already a pretty great original and remastered comparison video. This deserves to be seen on its own and appreciated, but watch it if you can with the back-to-back because they're light years apart. With it still staying what I think is true to the original vision of the original game and the feeling of the original game cinematics, but they legit did this. Like, this is not screwing around.
No.
It
looks good. It looks really, really good.
Yeah.
There's a couple of things. So to be a little nitpicky, like this made me aware of something that's kind of an interesting thing to talk about when it comes to being nostalgic for something.
Right.
Because I've seen the cinematics for Diablo 2 probably 100 times.
Yeah.
I know to listen for certain screams when they're going into this sort of madhouse where they're keeping Marius.
Yeah.
Like I know it that well. And so there are certain elements that you sometimes get attached to that are sometimes kind of silly elements to think about that I do miss in the new one. Like undeniably it looks better.
Yeah.
But it's little touches like how overblown the fire is in the original, and they went much more muted in the Resurrected. And also, there's a moment later where skeletons kind of leap out of the flame, and very unrealistically, I might say. In the original, the sockets of the skeleton's eyes had fire coming out of them, and they kind of lit up.
Yeah.
In the new one, it doesn't make sense for fire to be in the eye sockets of the skeleton, so it just looks like a skeleton in fire. And I miss little moments like that, and I found myself going like, meh. Kind of getting internety about it, you know? And then I thought about it, and I was like, no. Undeniably, this looks better. Undeniably, they did a good job. But there are some little bits and pieces.
At best I can tell, too, it's shot for shot, and there's no pacing change. There's no new footage. The voice work, I think, is the same. Right?
Yeah, it's the exact same audio put over the top.
Yeah, so that would make sense in terms of them not changing much else. They just, scene for scene, it's sort of reshot again. But it's, I guess what I'm saying is, after the mess that was Warcraft 3 and all the other Blizzard bullshit lately, this was actually a thing that they said they were going to do, and it looks better than I expected. Like, I didn't think they were going this far. With it, it's almost redone. Like, well, it is redone in a lot of ways. I would actually like to know more about how it was done, because did they just reanimate everything, or did they do something where they rigged things and then just did this on top of it? Like, I don't know, man.
Yeah, because I think in the main game, I think you're able to hit a button and switch between original graphics and old graphics, and I don't think you'd be able to do that for the cinematics, but
that'd be cool, wouldn't it?
It would be kind of
that would be really cool.
I doubt you'll be able to do it for cinematics, but it's neat. Yeah. It's neat how, and it's also not exactly, and I mean, it doesn't have to be for a movie, but it's not an overlay. Like, there are differences in the performance. There are things that is in one version that isn't in the other, but it's still extremely faithful to what was there before.
Yeah, and that includes some awkward, I think, like when they're not to Chaldeum. What was the name of the city in the first game? This desert city in Act 2?
Lut Gholein.
Lut Gholein. When they get there, there's some stilted moments of, like, he spoke too quickly after he finished talking, or things like this. So that was true of the original, and they kept that stuff in. They didn't change any of it. Yeah. So if you had...
Well, that might be out of necessity because they were going to use the same audio, which means they may have to adhere very stringently to some of the audio cues.
My guess is they could have done more, but that would have been in contrast with what the commitment here is, supposedly, which is be super true to this thing and, make it whatever it's going to make it. And you may listen to this and go, I thought you guys were mad at Blizzard. No, I'm super stoked for the creatives who made this, and I think internally, this is amazing. This is really neat. This is great work, and it just goes a long way to say, hey, they committed to this one in a way that they just did not do with Warcraft 3 Reforged, and I appreciate it.
You can also make the argument that the Diablo 2 Resurrected game is being made by Vicarious Visions.
Yeah, which is a whole different
partially.
Group.
So,
yeah.
Not Blizzard.
Right.
But I mean, at the end of the day, it comes down to this, and I said this before when we got into all the Blizzard stuff, and it's still true here. You have to make your own decision on whether or not you want to support Blizzard. I had already purchased this game. I've had this game basically since it was announced, and so there's a decent chance I'm going to play it. But I didn't stop playing WoW because Blizzard ended up being a bad company. I stopped playing WoW because it's a bad game.
Yeah.
And so I'm not opposed to necessarily playing playing this. You know, I love Diablo 2, and you know, there's a lot of people clearly putting effort and time into it. But if somebody told me like I just can't do it, I'm like, okay, that's fine.
Yeah, I totally get that too. It is really pretty. If you want to go look at these, you should. They're on their YouTube channel, and I was blown away by it. Also, it speaks volumes about the quality of the original audio. They didn't have to change anything. It still sounds great. Boy, the material looks a lot better. I'll give them that. I think they just took that Tyrael model right out of their existing, assets and said, "Put buff, cool Tyrael in these shots, please," because he's a little stiff in the old stuff.
Yeah, it looks like for old Tyrael, it looks like somebody was like, let's just smudge the lens with Vaseline so we don't want to show him too much. Just blur him out a little bit.
Yeah. Well, anyway, we'll see. I may get. I pre-ordered it as well, but right now I'm still just feeling so sour about it. I just don't know what I want to do. But I guess I would say the artistry here, and that is undeniable. And those guys as usual are, kind of top of their game. So well done.
It's already starting. We'll be back to playing their games.
I mean, at some point, but
yeah,
I'd sure like them to do better at the top. Again, this is my old point. It's not the people on the front line that I'm mad at. The people who are sitting in their ivory towers right now going, boy, I hope this blows over soon. They're the ones I'm mad at. They're the ones that are doing it for the money, and it's not interesting to me at all to support them. But I don't want just a couple of animators kicking ass. I think that's great. Well done, guys. All right. Related news. Diablo 4 game director's out. He's done. Gone. Fired. Luis Barriga? I'm not sure how you say it. He's the most notable face on the game as in terms of their updates and stuff on stage and everything. That was all him for the most part.
He was the main stage presenter in the opening ceremony for Diablo 4.
Diablo 4 game runner. Had nothing to do with 2, so these aren't connected. Diablo 2 Resurrected is an entirely different team, different leadership, all of that. Someone also reminded me today that Diablo 3, a month after the announcement of 3, they lost their lead designer and one of the main artists for some other unrelated thing. Their point being like it's probably really not that big of a blip. There's plenty of leadership there who could take over, people within the team already. And they gave no details as to why these people were let go, except lead designer who's also lead designer on the project, Jesse McCree, who's also known for doing stuff on multiple teams. He was on the WoW team for a long time. He worked on the Overwatch team. McCree is named after him. He is also one of the guys in the Cosby Suite controversy, and he is out as well. Let's see. Also, Apex Legends lead dev fired for stuff back from Activision Call of Duty times. Don't know too many details about that.
Well, he was fired now for posts he made that were racist and discriminatory.
Oh, they actually said...
It's not to do with Activision Blizzard. It's Apex, it's EA, but those guys were Call of Duty developers before they were with the EA, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, I gotcha. Okay.
So
I was trying to figure
there's
out
a connective tissue there, all that to say it's rampant in the industry, not just a Blizzard problem.
Right.
We knew that already, but
yeah, we definitely knew that.
I saw another piece of news that another person from the Cosby Suite picture, was it Corey Stockton is on?
He's still at Blizzard.
He's not fired, but he's on probation, I think.
Yeah, or administrative leave.
Yeah,
whatever that
like
is.
that.
Never really know what that is, but yes, administrative leave. I have mixed feelings about Corey because I really like Corey a lot. I know him, and he's a sweet guy. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that one, and that may speak to why he's not just straight up fired. But everybody else in that room seems to be getting the axe, and I guess we'll see. I don't know enough about how that's all going to go, but he that is to say, Jesse McCree. Whether this affects they do anything with McCree or not, like if the character changes or anything like that, I don't know. I doubt it. I feel like the character.
For sure it's changing.
I don't think
so?
they should.
I don't think they will.
That's. I think that's more baby Blizzard changes. Like, look at us. We're changing stuff.
Yeah, you want a character in your game that reminds you of the sexual assaulter that your company is.
I think let's start with here's a crazy idea. Don't name your characters after actual people in your company.
Well,
stupid.
you know,
And
I think that's not fair. I think she should be an upstanding person. I think it's his.
Sure, everybody should be an
We're victim
upstanding
blaming
person,
here.
but I think going, hey, let's name this cowboy character after a real human being. I'm sure they're a perfect human being and won't surprise us in any like. Yes, hindsight is perfectly clear, but at the same time, don't name your dumb cowboy after an actual person, and then you don't have to face this dilemma.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like,
I
give
think it's
him
don't be a
give him a
sexual. That's the
different
wrong
cowboy
message.
name.
Don't be a sexual assaulter is the message.
I think there's
don't name your
two
characters
there's
after
two
them.
messages though. There's two messages. One is absolutely that, don't be an assaulter.
Yeah,
and the
one's
other
a
message
given,
is,
one's a lesson you should actually learn.
yeah, the other one is, maybe make it a policy
Wait,
not
what?
to name everything after
Which
their,
one's the given?
well,
Don't be a sexual assault
yeah, that
person.
should be the given.
That's a given. They don't have to learn that lesson. They should have already known it.
Well,
don't
some
name
people have to
characters
learn that,
after
obviously,
actual
'cause they do it.
people.
Yeah.
They have to learn that
Like-
lesson because they did it. So
Right.
that's not
It's
true.
extremely stupid to be like, let's change
And I think
McCree's
it's fine
name.
to name characters after people.
Here's what I think.
I dispute that point.
I think McCree is a character who I didn't know was named after Jesse McCree until all this mess. I don't know how many players knew of it otherwise. I'm sure some did. But at this point, McCree is bigger than him. It's a big branded character that, like it or not, is a huge part of the future of that franchise. If there is a future to that franchise, I don't think they're going to change it because it's McCree. It's like saying,
I don't think they're gonna. I don't think they should.
I think in the lore it's a pseudonym, anyways.
oh, is it?
I read that somewhere. I haven't confirmed it, but I think the fact that he goes by McCree was never his real name.
It's going to be very shocking when it's revealed that his true name is Cowboy Jim.
Yeah, Cowboy Jim.
It's Jay Brack, Jalen Brack.
Would you?
His real name.
It's real unfortunate. It's in the lore. We can't change it. We wrote it down.
I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna do, but yeah, that was a ding for them for sure. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. But that's a bunch of leadership gone. They've said they've already got appropriate people internally that they'll move into those positions. It's a little like when Kaplan left, they pretty quickly moved Aaron Keller in there and kind of had that plan. So I'm sure they've got other things like that going on. What's weird about this whole thing and all these changes and people being let go or leaving or whatever, the entire process, actually, the whole thing is happening, and we forget at home because we're just not privy to it, but it's happening outside of campus because no one's worked at Blizzard campus in those offices, with the exception of very few, since March of 2020. When the pandemic shut everything down, that's when everybody went to work from home, and they're still doing that. So everything, including their protest, was get in the car and drive to the thing and protest and then go home again. Not walk out of your cubicles and protest out in the front where you were there all day. And then these guys leaving, they're being called on the phone, or I don't know. Like, it's not the same as coming to my office. It's just a weird time, right? Just weird.
Yeah. There must be some on-site staff, though.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, there's some systems people and all that, but like all the devs don't work there. None of the art departments, any of the big departments, just not there. Leadership's not there. The only people are there like servers, upkeep, live services guys, stuff like that, and gals. But it's like, whatever minimum they can do, and it just makes this even odder. And it's an oddity that everyone's having to deal with across everything. The pandemic, kind of everybody had to deal with it in whatever way they had to deal with it. But it's just easy to forget that they're not in their meeting. There's no like boardroom conversation. There's none of this. It's phone and Zoom, and that's it.
Let's get on the Zoom call and find out what we're gonna do about the Overwatch cowboy.
Yeah.
Even morale-wise, it's weird too. Then, because if they're still working from home, it's not like they're in the office like refusing to work. They're just at home gardening or something like that. Like, you know what I mean? Like some protest. I don't know. I don't mean that derisively, but it's there's probably a vibe in the office when things are not good, except there's no vibe in the office. It's all over, I guess, Slack. Like the whole company's
it's
run
probably
via
worse.
Slack now, as far as I can tell.
Yeah, it's a bunch of Slack rooms, and you don't have eye contact for 90% of this. You don't have all those other things that you would have in an office. You don't have a sideways glance at your friend who's 4 desks that way, just to say, "Ooh, kind of weird today, huh?" You don't have any of that. There's no break room with a donut to talk over. You're just left at home to go, well, I just had a horrible meeting. I'm going to go take a shit in my own toilet, and then I'm going to come back here. I just can't imagine it. Yeah. Like I'm trying more in the aftermath of all of this. Oh, by the way, huge thanks to a bunch of core listeners really stepped up and donated for those the Broken Hearthstone stuff. We got a big donation going to those three charities. So I'm really excited about that. But anyway, beyond that, one of the things I'm trying to do is say, can I get into the headspace of the rank and file? Like the people who are affected by this, who are just trying to do their jobs, who are just trying to make ends meet, who could be lost in a heartbeat if stock prices take a giant dump. Like I'm worried about those people because they're not a-hole, overly rich, ridiculous CEOs. They're just working jobs and are in some ways ancillary victims of the whole mess. And I hope that some relief can come to them. I don't know what that means or how it's going to manifest itself, but something.
This is a tough conversation.
One thing we know for sure is that if they change McCree's name, they will have successfully defeated sexism.
Yeah. Probably what's more likely to happen is once it starts to blow over, because when Activision Blizzard posts record numbers, they lay off people. I was reading an article today. There was 5 instances of this in their history. How many people are they going to lay off once this dust blows over? For all the people that have gone on public spheres and made the company look bad, like those people, those people's days are numbered.
Oh no, that's what I'm saying.
It doesn't matter what side. If they're on the side, the company's not there to be on the side of right, but they're gonna bide their time. Like hey, you release shitty news on a Friday. They're not gonna do it in the middle of this shitstorm. But all those people that are breaking rank and file, it's a closed company that closely guards its secrets. All those people that are diminishing the value of the IP there's going to be consequences.
I 100% agree. And that's why I'm worried about them, because I think standing up for what you believe and still trying to make ends meet seems contradictory but you got to take, you have to have whatever stand you have. And I feel bad for any of them that are going to get lost in the chipper at the end of this.
It's a toxic relationship. They should get out and take their talent to companies that deserve it or their own projects if they possibly can.
Yeah. Well, that's a controversial statement, but not. I know the way you mean
it's not easy just for everyone to do that, but it's a toxic. I listened to the description, and there was a time where I'm like, I saw Chris Messon's video, and I'm like, man, it sounds like an awesome place to work.
Yeah,
maybe I could work there. Now I'm like, oh my god, I'm so glad that I did not work there. That sounds like the worst possible outcome.
Yeah.
Ever. And for anyone that's there who might just be having a hard time going through that, from the outside looking in right now, it looks like you're in an abusive, toxic relationship, and you need to leave that, man.
Yeah.
That's just what it looks like to me.
I'm glad you actually said it that way, because that's what I was going to get at. Is the statement's only controversial if we don't contextualize it, and the contextualization of this is like saying, like I've been getting heat for the last few days because I've basically came out and said, look, I'm not. It used to be a troll would say something hideous online, and I would kind of reach out to them and say, really, do you feel that way, and try to get a conversation going. I don't do that anymore. I just block them. Goodbye. I don't need you in my life. And somebody said, hey, this is like getting, what do you call them? Fake calls. What do you call those? Junk calls or whatever. What do you call that?
Yeah, robocalls.
Robocalls. Yeah, when you get those, or even if it's not a robot and it's some guy going, we're with the FBI, we need all your information or whatever.
Phishing call.
Scammers and stuff. You wouldn't sit around going, I'm trying to understand your motivation. I'd really like to, I know you're trying to screw me here and it's all very obvious, but really, I know you're a human being, and deep down, you would never do that. So why am I doing that with people on social media? Freaking F off. You're getting blocked. That's it. Yeah. That's it. A little piece of me died.
Those people are pretty bad.
No, they're terrible. They're terrible.
I tried once because I had that moment of like, are these people actually bad? Like at the end of the day, I'm talking to another human being. This isn't a computer. This is a person.
Right.
And they said stuff that I'm not comfortable repeating on a show that people are going to hear to me. So
Yeah, they can
they're,
all go.
They're not good human beings.
Exactly.
They're
They
bad.
can all take a head dive
You
into the
could
shit.
pick up the phone, cuss them out, and you would be doing a service compared to what they deserve.
Exactly. So block and move on. That's my new policy, and everyone can say, "Oh, but you've lost some of your humanity." Whatever, dude. I've tried long enough. I'm done.
Well, we're all losing our humanity every day. Anyways.
Yeah, I'm done.
We're aging.
Yeah, I'll spend time
okay.
with all the other awesome people I like, and I don't mean people who disagree with me. That's great. I'll talk to you because you may have a point, and if you're reasonable about it, we can have a conversation. Send me an email. You know where it is. But if you're going to be an a-hole, like right out of the gate, we can go poop a brick and then eat it. All right, moving on. Hey, Bo, good news.
Hi.
Frostpunk, which is on sale, Frostpunk 2 is now coming. And apparently it's very ambitious. They're going for some pretty interesting ideas here. I tried to play Frostpunk 1, and it was just not my thing. On paper it is, because I love city builders, and I love that kind of stuff generally. But I found it to just be, every choice was someone had to die in that game. And I couldn't do it. It's just too punishing for me. But I'll bet people are going to be stoked about this.
I can't say if I'm happy or not. I haven't played it. I bought it about 2 minutes before the show started. When I usually do my Steam shopping during the show, I was like, "Oh, $10? Let me buy that right now." I don't know if I'll get to play it soon. I'm still, eyeballs deep in other games. But now that I own it, good chance.
Yeah.
Oh no, I don't own it. We said it was on Game Pass.
Oh yeah, it's on Game Pass.
You saved me $10.
I did. Don't forget that when I'm in jail and you got to come bail me out or something. Remember what I did for you.
Yeah, no problem. I'll be like, I don't know, Scott. And you'll be like, remember that time I saved $10 on...
We'll never forget. They say an interesting thing here. They say we have more manpower available for focus on all aspects of the game, be it from scale, production value, to the quality of the user interface. Our ambition is to do more than just a straight-up sequel. We aim to deliver players an experience that goes vastly beyond what the original Frostpunk did.
Frogpunk.
Are
you announcing a new company? A steampunk offshoot of Frogpunk?
Yeah,
Frogpunk?
you nailed
Frostpunk.
it.
That's cool. Yeah.
It is available everywhere to go wish list. So Steam and Epic and GOG and all of it. So if you want it, it's coming. Look for freezing over stuff. There's a pretty cool trailer. I don't know if it's if you guys have seen it.
No.
It's pretty. It's depressing. It's.
I mean, that's the name of the game. Sounds like they're hitting what they should be.
Yeah, they're
not trying to bring you in on this one, Scott. They're trying to maintain the people that liked the first one.
Yeah, and you know what? I could be turned too, though, if they came to this one and said, "All right, we took everything that was great, we removed some stuff that wasn't. It's still hard, but there's some hope in here." I might be in, but if it's just we're gonna have to eat grandma or kill 3 kids, which way do you want to go? Yeah,
I think we can settle this right now. I'm watching the trailer, okay, and there's a scene of a man frozen to death with his hands bound in front of him, and painted in blood on his chest is the word liar.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that seems like it's gonna be.
It's pretty dark. Yeah.
It's gonna be adult
it's a
subject
grim,
matter.
dark world.
Now,
here's what people get angry.
Here's what's funny: if you said, "Scott, this is a movie," I would be, "Ooh, awesome! Can't wait for this. I would watch this." Like as a genre film concept, this is my jam. As I have to make these decisions as Lord of the place. I don't think I can do it. It's same reason scary movies don't scare me. Scary video games do. I don't know. It's a weird thing for me. Can't really explain it.
I mean, it depends on what your level of, I think, ability to disconnect is. If it comes up and it's like, hey, do you want to institute child labor? And you're going to, actually have struggles with whether or not these video game children are going to suffer because you clicked option 1, that's going to be a hard choice.
You got to do what you got to do to survive, man. Sometimes kids have to go to work.
Make those kids work. What are they going to do?
That's what I keep banging into in New World or Old World is there's always this, not always, but most of the runs you'll get to a place where you need to make a decision about slavery. And it'll say, the council would like you to make a decision on slavery. And then your choices are usually like, let there continue to be slaves, or abolish slavery, it's terrible, or let the courts decide. And I always abolish it. Now, I don't know if that means, because like anything else feels unconscionable to me. Or it feels like washing my hands if I send it down the road, and if I keep it going, that's awful. So I never do it. But for all I know, I'm hosing my late game, or I'm effing up some other aspect of the game.
Your inner min-maxer is like,
the meta? Is slavery in the meta? Like,
where does it land?
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, the thing is, it's a historical game. Slavery is a phenomenon, not just unique to the United States, but throughout the many years of human history.
Right.
So when you're playing a fantasy of a ruler in this old world time, then those are options that should be available to you.
Yeah, because it gives it some authenticity. But you do pay for it in other ways. Like, as much as I feel like in the game I morally benefit from deciding not to do it, the game gives you all sorts of consequences that suck by doing it if you do choose that. And it tells you before with a pop-up what's going to happen if you choose it. And so you have whatever positive effects there are, which is, oh, well, this is going to be a lot cheaper. We're going to save a bunch of money, which is why slavery is popular. But then it talks about like morale and overall, like, what's the other stuff? Like the people's trust in you and your legacy, and like all this other stuff gets affected negatively. So they do a pretty good job of dinking around with that stuff.
Line at the bottom: you as a player might not sleep well tonight.
You might not sleep. Does kind of feel like that.
I mean, being royal is kind of awful, right? That's the whole part. That's the whole part of the game, is that you don't have to do any of those terrible things, but you get to decide the course of their life.
Yeah, like Lord said.
I think the game is more artfully impactful, or more of an art experience if you get to feel that feeling.
Oh, right. Yeah, no, I'm glad it's there. I'd rather feel good about that choice than not have the choice. And I feel good about not doing it. So I pay a little more. It's fine. We got to build a
paradise. Or you're a true coward. You say, let the courts decide.
I've never done that.
Like, that's an option that's in there that is just, you should just hang your head in shame. You've lost the game if you pick the let the courts decide.
You can do that, but you still have to choose. That's the thing about it. It's not really a choice, because if I do say let the courts decide, then it goes to a courts screen where I have to enact a law and pay justice points. So I still have to do it either way. They make you choose. Yeah. It's not like in real life. Is it
because you can blame the courts if the people don't like it, whereas if you come out and say I'll do it, then you have to take responsibility. It's called it's a culpability play.
I got it.
Yeah,
I got it.
Because it's a video game.
You hang yourself if you take all the culpability on yourself. That's how Bobby's still in charge of Activision, I'm sure, and any CEO of any company is still. It's a culpability game.
Yeah.
You want to make the decisions, but you want to make other people think they made the decisions, and when they go wrong, you kick them out.
Let JL and Brack decide.
Maybe he said, you know what, I have a good idea, do this stuff and clean up your house, and then it went bad, and he went, okay, bye, Jay. And that's the end of it.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how they deal with these issues in Frostpunk 2. Do you guys like Grand Theft Auto? Are you fans of the series?
I have been.
I have a respect for Grand Theft Auto.
I've played every single one of them.
I have too. So John and I are in a similar boat. I think I've finished most of them, actually, except, let's see, I didn't finish the story of 5, ironically, the most long-running one. I didn't finish the story of San Andreas, but I did do both Vice City and 3. And then I've played even the early ones, the old top-down stuff, which I'm kind of a fan of in their own weird way. Anyway, you're about to get a major remaster, everybody. A GTA Remastered Trilogy. It's apparently real, and it's coming to Switch and PS5, Xbox, all that other stuff. I don't know why they started with Switch. It's a weird way to do that.
I was like, oh, it's a Switch deal.
Yeah, it's a little bit weird. But here are the rumors. The real interesting thing to me is that they're redoing the entire thing in Unreal Engine. So they're not just,
awesome.
Yeah, they're not up-resing here. They're going like crazy with it. And if all 3 of those come in the same pack, well, I'll be honest, what I'm most interested in is Vice City. So if they give me just that, I'd be fine. But I guess I get all 3 for the price of one.
The big thing is, are they going to get the soundtracks again?
Right, because that's huge. That's why I want Vice City, is I want all that 80s stuff. But
oh my gosh,
I know,
the soundtrack to Vice City.
I
used to have the box set of all the CDs for Vice City soundtrack.
Yeah.
That thing is good. It's
They
got a
said-
good soundtrack.
This says all 3 games will be remastered in Unreal Engine and will be a mix of, quote, new and old graphics, whatever that means. One source who claims to have a snippet of the game in action or seen it said the visuals remind them of a heavily modified version of classic GTA as a title, so like, mods to make it look better. The UI for the game is being updated or retain the same classic styling. No details were shared about gameplay. Kotaku got told that these remastered titles are trying to stay true to the PS2 era games as much as possible. Well, I say don't try that hard. Just make them look better than that.
Yeah, a lot of them controlled really badly too. So
Yeah.
I mean, you can feel free to make some changes here and there. I think.
Yeah.
Is there audience like a Blizzard audience that's gonna go nuts if it's? Not
I think there's
because Diablo 2 is like, we didn't change anything, we swear.
I mean,
I grant
I'm
that GTA. I don't think your people are that concerned about that kind of stuff.
right. I'm probably not as in as to make the call, but I wouldn't think so. I mean, to me, the GTA series has evolved. If I was going to play an old version of the game, I would wish that it played more like the modern ones.
Yeah,
so
too.
I would be all about making changes. I think the things that you would see people get very pure about is soundtrack, making sure all of that is in there, and making sure that they didn't alter too much, because you can see modern sensibilities kicking in, and you can see people getting in an uproar about, oh, we changed this line, or we changed this billboard, or we removed this radio clip, because we thought it was too offensive, which is a weird thing for GTA to do.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they're going to do that, but that's the other thing that I could see people getting upset about.
These first 2 games, 3 and Vice City, which are essentially, Vice City is almost like almost an expansion pack, but it's a standalone game. Very similar though, mechanically and everything else, just set in a different era. Those 2 games, neither of the protagonists spoke. They were silent. The third one, he is a talker.
Wait, I thought you spoke in Vice City, because weren't you voiced by Ray Liotta?
Oh shit, you're right.
I think only the first.
Yep.
I think only GTA 3 was the silent protagonist.
Right. I remember Joey Pants being in the first one, or in 3. We always call it the first one, but the first 3D one. Joey Pantolinato, or however you say his name.
Yeah.
But he was just a side character. So whenever you showed up anywhere, everyone else talked, but you didn't. So you're totally right. Vice City. Was it Ray Liotta?
I think it was Ray Liotta.
Hold on, let's look this up. I think
that would be a good choice.
I mean, it seemed something about that sounds right. Yeah, Ray Liotta was Tommy Vercetti. You're totally right. Wow. Amazing cast in there, man. Look at all these people. Oh, that game, dude, Vice City was freaking great.
I think San Andreas is also grossly underrated, because San Andreas is almost, I mean, it definitely is like it feels like the beta test for what GTA would then go on to become.
Yeah.
Because it's almost like a role-playing game that plays like an action game and is in a modern setting about crime. There's stats to increase, there's items to collect. The shit, here we go again, or whatever it is.
Like that, they made that meme and then they decided to make a game about it.
Yeah, that's exactly the order. Somebody posted that screenshot and they're like, we should make a whole game out of this.
Yeah, kind of.
I thought so.
Listen to this cast. Ray Liotta, William Fichtner, love him. Tom Sizemore, Dennis Hopper, Burt Reynolds, Luis Guzman, Philip Michael Thomas came back and basically played what he did in Miami Vice. Robert Davey, Danny Trejo, Gary Busey, Lee Majors, Danny Dreyer, Kevin McKidd. Yeah, this is a huge. Debbie Harry was
That's
in this.
That's a long list, actually. It's more than necessary for an average game. You
get
like 4 voice actors and you're good.
Porn actress Jenna Jameson was in it. Yeah, that's just crazy to me. Anyway, we'll see. That's coming. We don't know what it'll look like. We have no idea, but they're making it. So, yeehaw. Yo-Yo Games, rather. There's no H. Now offering a fully free version of Game Maker for learning, along with Epic and Unity. Well, that's pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that seems all right.
I was pretty excited about this because I've been flirting with actually buying it because I kind of want to.
Dude, that would be cool.
Kind of want to make a video game. It's one of those things I don't get to because time and day, but like.
What would you make?
I would like this. I've been like downloading and watching tutorials over the past year and a half or so. Like I will look and watch things, and Game Maker, you can make probably single-person projects, old school 2D retro thingamajiggies, even just for fun. Like maybe not a game, but I'm just tooling around in there.
Yeah.
But I always kind of like never pulled the trigger on the 99, so I saw this today, and I was like, oh shit, I can just get it. Yes,
You should
and
do
I thought
it.
it would be good news to share. It's gaming related, and I mean, there's a game just recently that was really popular that was made.
It's
in there.
Loop Hero or
Was Loop Hero made?
yeah,
in Game
Loop Hero's
Maker?
Game Maker.
I could totally see that. Like, it's a 2D sprite. It's not one you hear a lot about, but the Hyper Light Drifter I know is one of them. There was the Super Metroid remake, the A2MR, that was made in Game Maker as well. There's actually a lot more than you'd think, but people don't just go like Game Maker at the beginning. You see Unreal Engine and Unity all the damn time, but
Yeah.
it just seems like easy enough where I don't have to learn. I feel just like Unity or even Godot would be too complex for me to like. I don't have the time for it, but I already know enough about game dev back from the 2000s and late 90s when I was doing that like I can easily pick this up, I think. So anyways, I'm excited.
You should do it. Tell me what game you'd want to make first. Are you gonna make a
I have no
relationship
idea.
game?
I still have a learning curve to go, but yeah, like just
So
something.
like the ideas will come later. I need to know how first. I'm the other way around. I'm just nothing but ideas and then no ability.
Well, the problem with ideas I've learned is like you have these ideas, but then you got to execute on them, and your eyes can be definitely way bigger than your stomach or capacity to do them. So that's why I'm not trying to like I have tons of ideas, but I'm like, oh, but then I'm committing to doing like a really large scale thing, and then it doesn't get done, and then you get discouraged and you don't do it.
Yeah.
So right now I'm just thinking very abstractly about that, but it is something I want to like start spending some time on, I think, soon.
All right.
Disco Elysium really inspired me. I almost kind of want to do like a really literary kind of piece.
Ooh, I would
Who
love to
knows?
see what you'd do. I think that'd be great.
Who knows? But yeah, anyway, and I'm like no artist. Like that's the biggest hurdle is video games, very visual medium, and
Yeah.
I'm just like
Stick
that's the
figure.
hard. That's the part that's most intimidating to me. Is I just like I have none of that.
Look, I've seen Planet Nash as drawn by you, and I think there's some.
Well, I mean, I can take other people's assets and paste them into a penis shape and call it a map, but like, but like it's.
Scott's
Yeah,
got it.
I have
I'm
it right
ready.
here. Yeah.
Oh no, I
Had that
drew it too. I
quick.
forgot about that.
You
Yeah,
had
that's-
that super fast.
Yeah.
That's a whole world. I mean, there's a tower in Ash, and there's two like asteroids or meteorites that smashed into each other to form one mass that look like balls, and the tower is where the two asteroids are, man.
Yeah.
It floats around in space like that.
Yeah. I'm glad that you reminded us that it looks like balls. Thank you for that. I appreciate
Yeah.
that.
But for the podcast listeners, they may not understand why
I
the tower
see.
is so funny without understanding that the tower is connected between two meteorites in the shape of balls and penis. But it's incidental. It's totally incidental. That's why it's believable in the fiction because it
It just happened.
I
right?
think, anyways. You guys tell me.
Yeah. Well, the reason I have it ready, I got to tell you the name of this file. This is funny, but I have this at the ready in case Bo's not here for any reason. I have one for John if he's not here either. It's just basically a placeholder for your video hole, and the name,
Your video.
the name
Video hole.
the name of this one for you, Bo, is called Bo with Wiener. That's the name of it.
Bo with wiener.
John is called John with Can on Head. And
Oh,
then that
nice.
goes right there. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
John Can.
Get the placeholder. Yep. Oh, there it is. I like that it's still my body behind it.
Yeah, it's
So there
still
can
you.
actually be like motion to
Yeah.
it.
You look
You
like
should
a bobblehead that's
move
so
right
much
now,
bigger.
John. I'm going to try something. Hold
Okay.
on. Let me move your head back and forth or whatever. Do you like? See, look, it's like a. It's
Start talking, and the more aggressively it talks, the harder you shake it.
I'm John. I play Final Fantasy 14, and I want everybody else to play the game that I play. Oh, it's not.
The dragons suck. All right. Well done.
Yeah, so it's exciting.
Dragon.
Beef.
Yeah, you should make a game called Dragon Beef and make that game. Get it
We
going.
could do that. We could make a mobile game because apparently that's where all the money is. So it'll just be two dragons throwing steaks at each other.
You gotta
Breathing
cook the
steaks.
peasants, then you gotta throw the peasant meat at the other dragon.
Yeah.
Oh
and,
yeah, so it's like a little StarCraft action. You got to collect the peasants, then put them on the barbecue, and then shoot them at the other dragon.
There you got it.
We have a game. This is a game.
Yeah, we got a game.
Dragon beef.
Yeah, Dragon Beef. DragonBeef.com. All right, moving on. I wonder if that's available. Hold on. Beef.
Scott's like,
somebody
hold
draw
on,
me
I
some
need...
dragons. I need some dragon bitmaps, some people bitmaps, and some steak bitmaps.
Someone's
and,
squatting it. It's dragonbeef.com is on sale for $6,295.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
We think we're made of money?
Yeah. What the heck, man?
Somebody had lofty goals. They think we make way more on this show than we do.
Yeah, why would anyone else buy that? Like, the only way I could think of if someone like was running a Ren fair and wanted to brand like, some sort of dragon meat as a novelty item.
Sure. Well, there is a beef preparation called dragon beef, but no one's owning it or doing anything with it. What I would like to do is just get dragon.beef, but there's no .beef domains right now.
Why not?
I agree.
Honestly, everybody
That's a
wants a
great
beef domain.
Yeah.
I mean, now that you mention it, it's a great podcast name. Like, it's like core, like you could just call it Dragon Beef. Like,
yeah.
That would be, what is Dragon Beef? That's a click, right? Like, and they see how popular it is.
Dragon.beef, John.beef, Bo.beef. I want
anytime you have a beef with something, you get a .beef.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, .beefs would sell out so quick.
There's a bunch of other dumb ones. Why not beef?
Yeah.
Let's get it going.
Where's the beef?
Where is the beef? Let's move on to speaking of mobile games, industry reports say that mobile gamers are spending $1.7 billion, not per year, not per month, every week. $1.7 billion a week.
Per week.
Yeah.
Does this prove that phones emit a radiation that makes you dumber?
I mean,
no, but you're not far off. It proves that humans are susceptible to addiction mechanic, behavioral science engineered addiction mechanics.
Guess what I started to play? Look at this.
Oh, you're a Witcher.
I picked up that Witcher. That is to say, I downloaded it from the App Store. The Witcher Monster Slayer game, which is basically Pokemon Go but for Witcher monsters. And I didn't know it's made by the people, the CD Projekt Red people.
Said it was Zapzoo or something like that.
Yeah, they're a subsidiary.
Oh, look, you got monsters around.
Yeah, I have monsters.
You got like a bony guy, and you got like a bee person.
Yeah, and if I fought the guy with the skull over his head, I'd die. He's too strong for me right now.
So, but wait a minute. What's the point? Is the point to just become strong? Because like I get Pokemon Go, you're collecting Pokemon. That's a tangible thing I'm into.
Yeah.
But if you just kill a monster, what have you gained?
You also you're doing the same thing. You want to catch them all, right? It behooves you to
catch the monsters, or do you kill them?
Kill them for the first. So when you kill them the first time, you get a new trophy, and it says, "Oh, the first time you've killed a drowner or whatever," and they put their head on a plaque, and now you've got that. When you do that, you get to unlock resources every time you do it, and then by adding more and more drowners, you get enough to get higher amounts of points or whatever, like you unlock stuff you can claim. It's
mobile.
It's all
it's fine that you're playing it. It's just the design. We played this design is in every game, right?
Oh, 100%. There's nothing about this that isn't. This is a skin for why people play Pokemon Go. It's a skin.
Yeah.
Even though I know it's not really a skin, but there's like, Witcher vision, and I had to go find a dead horse head out by the lake, literally by this lake that I live by, and it's also a lake in the game because it's all Google Maps stuff. And there was a dead horse and a severed head of a horse laying there, and I had to like click on parts of it to get like Witcher sense for what happened here. And the neck is all serrated. What caused that? And it ended up being a griffin, and I had to fight it, and almost lost. And anyway, that was a whole quest. And then I talked to this guy who was like, "Oh, Witcher, you've saved me from the..." And then he sent me down another quest. And if I want to go do this next part, let's see, I got to go to the island of that lake over there to get it. And that's a 20-minute walk. So,
jeez. Are you sure you want to be showing the map of your neighborhood on the?
I don't care. You could. It's not a big deal. I don't think this doesn't tell you enough. It's just like mush.
Yeah, no, it's fine. It just just occurred.
No, fair enough.
I thought I'd be a good friend.
But it's funny because the way they treat like the lots of the house, they just look like grass tufts, and I don't know. They made it's pretty cool the way they've done the terrain in here.
I mean, it looks awesome for what you've shown me. Like I definitely. I mean that's the thing. If they're making 1.7 billion a week, the games better be good.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, they have to be good enough to drive interest and have
to earn at 1.7 billion a week. Like,
Yeah.
Like, I think that's the thing that probably drives me John crazy. If I can speak on behalf of John a little bit, it's
Yep,
like
go for
you
it.
make that much money and the games are this shit. In many cases.
I mean, there's good examples. There's others that are bad. Like, I don't know. Like,
it does go to show you though that like it's even though let's say like you don't play a mobile game at all, I think it does influence our experience in gaming, at least from the AAA companies, because they're thinking about what makes them money. Like through all this Activision Blizzard stuff, Zynga is doing very well still. So
wait, is Zynga even around anymore? I thought they were gone. No. Are they going to something
I
else?
saw an article about it. I didn't post it, but Zynga's going well. Wait, it's King. Sorry, I meant to say King.
Oh, King.
And King's their gambling arm, but don't they do? Doesn't Activision have a mobile arm? Isn't it Zynga?
They have King.
King. Yeah, that is King.
So King is their mobile.
King is
okay.
Activision. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're the one name you don't hear come up in this lawsuit outside of just saying, oh, they also own King. Nobody's.
Yeah, because they just bring them tons of money.
Yeah.
King's purpose on Activision is to be number one with a bullet on the earnings call.
Yeah.
Where they go, we made this insane amount of money from King. We made this slightly lesser amount of money from Activision, and we made this slightly lesser amount of money from Blizzard.
Yeah.
And they do it without a bunch of people on the internet bad mouthing them or giving their opinion. Like Activision and Blizzard games come saddled with the streamer culture and all the brouhaha that comes with it, but nobody's making vlogs about King. Like,
no, because nobody cares. They're garbage mobile.
But they make the most money. You know what I mean?
They make the most money.
Do you think anybody's playing?
That's what sucks.
If I got on Twitch right now, would I find somebody playing? What's the big King game? Candy Crush. Would I find that?
Candy Crush. I don't know if
Crush.
people Twitch Candy Crush.
That's a good question, though.
All right,
That's a
Candy
good
Crush
question.
Tales. Yep, here's
Is the number one stream called Crushing It? Because I'm trying to predict what they're calling it.
Well, I found a dude. Let's see, recent broadcast.
I don't see anyone playing Candy Crush Tales on my list.
I found one that's. Oh,
is it Candy Crush with a K or Candy? Was it?
Let's see. Let's try a different one. Candy Crush Soda Saga, maybe. Oh yeah, there's a whole category. No results.
Crush
Okay, so
Saga.
nobody's streaming this shit.
Oh, there's some past videos. There's a streamer who's done past videos of Candy Crush.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Wombo Combo Candy Crush Soda 2 hours ago, 7 views, 1
Whoa.
minute and 38 seconds. And we got it's mainly I think Portuguese and Spanish streamers. It looks like.
Yeah. By the way, there are 815 people watching Lawnmower Simulator right now.
There's more people watching Lawnmower Simulator than watching Candy Crush, and King is literally like rolling in money, like it sort of makes you see, like, if you're a big company, you're just concerned about profits in the gaming industry, you'd be like, why am I taking on all this risk and taking on all this headache when I can just make mobile games and people don't say shit and we put them out there and they pay us tons of money?
Yeah.
We just got to make them. We got to make them bright and colorful and as addictive as possible and convenient. Just turn on the phone and play it.
Yeah.
I think it really has an impact overall in the gaming landscape, and I think we'll survive. There'll be lots of passionate indie developers, but I can't look at that and say that's a positive force if you are a gaming enthusiast. This sounds like an exploitative relationship, completely, and I don't think it deserves respect, even if they're making 1.87 billion a week. I feel very comfortable saying that sucks, and it's an exploitation, and they're ruining the integrity of gaming.
Yeah.
There you go.
I like it. By the way, I noticed one of these Lawnmower Simulator persons, and his title is still "Gimme them grass clippings." He's
playing a different game.
Yeah, he's playing League of Legends. So
Dota.
Yeah,
Dota.
so he forgot to change his categories. What's going on there?
But give me them grass clippings. Like, yeah.
I played a little more of that. We'll talk about that later. But I have one problem with that game they need to fix before I give it some more time. But
there's one guy trying to make affiliate doing it. His title was "Cutting My Path to Affiliate One Blade of Grass at a Time."
That's amazing. That'll get him there. I'm sure.
Appreciate the commitment.
Yeah,
honestly.
it's a fun game. It turns out. All right, before we get to the games we played,
Candy Crush, apparently.
Yeah, Candy Crush. John is going to now regale us with a Dear Martha review from Steam. Yeah, that's
I
right.
actually have 3 this
Oh
week,
my
3
gosh,
short ones.
How about are they all the same? The Ken Burns business or what?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, then here are 3 of them, and he'll explain them as we go. So enjoy.
My dearest Martha, I submit to you now my review of Coloring Game 4. Martha, 10 out of 10. Listened to Taylor Swift's Reputation album and colored in a slightly ugly cat. Yours in this life and the next, Zonal.
Wait a minute. I'm looking at this game.
Zonal?
Yeah, it's really called Coloring Game 4. Wow. All right. I'm looking at these now as you do them because that's weird. All right. So there's number 1. All right. Number 2 incoming. Here we go.
My dearest Martha, I submit to you now my review of Sun Haven. Martha, pros. There's a dragon. Cons. You can't romance the dragon. Yours in this life and the next, Blue Narcissus.
This is on my wish list. Why is this on my wish list? Oh, because it
Dragon
looks
Haven?
like farming and shit. That's why. All right. I like farming games. All right. Number 3.
My dearest Martha, I submit to you now my review for the game Boyfriend Dungeon. Martha, I don't understand why anyone would use a club instead of a sword. It's pointless.
Oh my gosh, dude. They really made that joke. Oh.
Yours in this life and the next, Iyagi.
That's horrible. Wow. By the way, that game's getting good reviews as an actual like good game, and it's on Game Pass. I may try it out during the week.
Yeah.
Yeah, it isn't apparently what everyone thinks it is. You're not really dating a sword, or the game isn't mostly a dating simulator. It's mostly like a dungeon crawler, but your swords are handsome dudes, but they're also swords. It's hard to explain.
Dude, hey, man, Scott, it's okay if you want to play it, man.
I am going to play it. I'm totally going to play it. I want to see what's up because everyone's raving. They're all like, "Oh, this is so much better than I thought it would be," and all this, and I kind of want to try it.
So, yeah, it looks like an ARPG style game.
Yeah.
I
It
played
looks
that
a bit
Dream
like
Daddy
Hades.
game. That game was good.
Yeah, you did like that, but that was more of a straight up, dating sim.
That
right?
was that was a dad dating simulator.
Yeah. This thing's more
But you
like
can't romance the boyfriends in this?
I don't know. I think just using them as your sword equals romancing them.
I mean, you've seen the art on these guys, right?
Oh yeah.
This is like, I don't know. It looks like there's romance. I would feel falsely advertised. I feel like I would buy this because I wanted to see, the smoldering charms of the sword guy. I can't remember what he turns into. And if all I got was just one, look at that. Look at it. His hair's flying all over the place. He's got a rose between his, like, it could just be aesthetic. It could totally be like a thing. Like, it's probably what you're saying.
Yeah.
But it kind of seems like with a title like Boyfriend Dungeon, it's a shade away from Boyfriend Simulator, right? I don't know.
He says the bunch of the reviews say, just be warned, you're not going to get your traditional dating sim out of this, but that's okay because it's great at other stuff.
Well, Steam has plenty. I guess that's the good news. Is if you're looking for that, I saw there's a Diablo like behind the back BDSM succubus game where you play as 4 scantily clad like BDSM succubi.
Yeah.
And next to nothing, swinging weapons at people, and then you pose them, I guess, later on, and who knows what else. I didn't buy it, but I was like, and it's called like We Are Succubuses or something. Like, it's got a really bad title, and I'm just like, oh my god, like.
Oh, I think I saw that game. Yeah, I did.
Did you?
I think it's just called Succubus,
almost,
actually.
I almost bought my first, what could be lightly called a porn game on Steam. I
What
got
was
very
it?
close.
What was it?
Oh, which one?
What was it called? Hold on.
It's not that Neko Para stuff that they're always trying to
It wasn't-
cram
it
down.
wasn't Succubus
that.
Cafe.
It keeps getting
Was it?
recommended, and it
Oh my
actually
God,
has good
that's actual
reviews.
porn.
And here's the thing. The reason I wanted to get it was because the gameplay is like very Nintendo DS. It's like draw a thing to solve a puzzle.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I could go for a game like that. I got really excited about that idea and seriously considered getting it. And then I was like, I don't know.
Okay, so they just have actual porn now on
Oh
Steam.
yeah. They just
Oh yeah,
I'm
you can.
seeing something I don't want to see. Don't go to Succubus Cafe unless you want to see actual porn. Like,
well,
No,
straight
there's
up
just
actual
full
porn,
on
not-
actual. Yeah,
here's the one you don't
in the
want.
trailer.
Yeah,
I
there's-
don't remember. What
And they
it's
show you
called.
stuff
Like,
in the
what
trailers. There's the one they keep trying to get me to get is something called Gamer Girl 18 Plus Esports Sex.
Well, it says 18 plus, so you know it's esports sex. What
Yeah. And that video I'll probably get you on a list. I don't like it. Steam, what are you doing? Oh, and then, by the way, it's like a Tetris kind of game.
Oh.
And the whole point of it is to get the Tetris pieces, get your lady naked or something.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Like, if people would not buy these things, they would not make them. Like, these are not good games. I just want to play, like, these things don't have to be in the same store, I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah. They're always
Like
anime. What's with all the anime? What's going on with that? Why can't it be not anime? Can someone explain that to me? Why all porny things are anime? Why can't we?
I want some Hanna-Barbera porn. Where's that art style on Steam?
All right, now wait. You might be making a good point, though.
Yeah,
Like,
I think Bo jokingly just described where it comes from.
I think you did. I think you just solved the question. Why there isn't? Why the preference is anime style and not Hanna-Barbera? Because why would it be?
What you got against Hanna-Barbera?
All kinds of things. Like, I can't even imagine. It makes me feel weird to even say, "Oh yeah, Could you make a porn? Let me go to a company and go, I'd like you to make a porn game, but could you do it in the styling of mid 70s, early 80s Hanna-Barbera, please? Like, that's a terrible idea.
You want to play Shaggy and dating women?
That's a bad idea.
Or Dick Dastardly? I mean, that's a game that writes itself.
Dune Buggy and
well, Dick Dastardly and the Dates of Doom.
The Jetsons Rule 34, don't Google, Omega 9X says. I will not.
Well, sure, yeah. Porn exists of everything. The point is you don't go and see a million porn games on Steam in the art style of Hanna-Barbera. I'm not saying nobody, watched Yogi Bear and didn't get a funny feeling. I'm saying that, like, by and large, it's the anime art style that gets co-opted into porn games.
Ziggurat says, didn't Jesse Cox make some non-anime dating games? He didn't make them. He was a voice in one.
Contributed.
He was in them.
Yeah.
He's in the one game I played. What was the one I played? Love Esquire.
Yeah, he's in that.
I think he's literally a voice actor in the game, and he's a bartender.
Yeah,
like it's him.
He's not making games. He's in games. That's how that works. Yeah. All right. Well, there you go. I don't know how we got there. How did we get there? I don't even know. Oh, because of John's reviews. They always take us there.
Yeah.
Yeah. It always takes us to a dark place.
I want to get a quick reminder out to everybody that do not forget this. This is true, and it's been true for a while. There is a trinity of video game shows on the Frog Pants Network. There's this Core. There's perfect companions to Core like Boop, where it's all indies all the time with me and Brian Dunaway. The Instance, big discussion topics you want out of the gaming world with me and Garrett and maybe somebody else soon. Tomorrow, in fact, we're doing a big ESO deep dive. John, you can ignore this part. And on there will be Joss. Joss is joining us. She's going to be hanging out with us. So I'm very excited about that. So
cool.
Anyway, check those out if you haven't. They're at the Frog Pants Network, frogpants.com/podcasts, or wherever you get your shows. Let's get to the games we played. I cracked open Deep Rock Galactic again because it's been a while and I was just kind of in the mood. And they've done stuff in there, man. Like things I didn't know about. All right, so remember when we were playing Dwarf Game and when you would do the one where you had to go put together the two rovers that were lost and their pieces were scattered around. Excuse me. Now, instead of doing what we used to do, which was just, oh, there they are. I see the blinking. Okay, to go beat the pieces, put them together. Okay, they'll walk back to the ship. Now we go there, and we have to guard the two battery things or whatever, and then you can leave. You remember all that?
Yeah.
It's different now. You go in there, and you go out. You find the signal of the actual device. The rover without its legs or whatever. Yeah. And then you hit it, and it does a scan, and then adds to your map data where the arm stuff is. So,
that's nice.
So you can scan for it, and it's not like you couldn't go find it anyway. They still blip and make noise and all of that, but they just gave you this little extra way of like making sure you're covering your bases. But then things get weird. You find all the pieces. You fix the two rover dudes. Not rovers. What are they called?
I can't remember.
Mules.
That's it. Yeah.
Send those back to the ship. They do that. And now the big green thing sitting out there that you have to go start hammering on, and then do a giant wave. It's different now. You hammer on it, and it turns into this big fuel generator thing. And then you've got to take... This is all while shit's happening, so, one of you's got to, like, defend stuff while the other one's taking care of this or whatever. And you can do it solo as well. Like, I was doing it solo. But there's now big, giant fuel pipes coming off of this thing. And you have to grab them, and a little bit like... I don't even know the game to compare it to. For some reason, it reminded me of No Man's Sky. I don't know why. But you would pull this piping, and you'd have to take it to a place, and it would kind of stop. You have to make a new stand for it, and then keep pulling it. It's not complicated, but it's almost like you're pulling some out, putting a little stand under it, pulling some out, putting a stand on it, and then you have to wire those around and get them into the fuel ports onto the ship. And there's 2 of them, and then it will take however long it takes to fuel the ship from these drop pod things through those pipings, and then you're defending the whole time against spiders and attacks and whatever to get out of there. And that completely replaced what was there before, which was just guard the battery packs or whatever. Yeah, it was really cool. So it was just a weird little change. I think other stuff, like other main modes, also got some changes. The egg one's the same, where you just see a glowy red rat's nest, and you say go get it, and your little dude gets it, or we all get it, or whatever. So those are still kind of the same, and super easy to solo. They're still probably the easiest solo thing. But I did the mode where you have to run around with like a tractor driller thing. It's like a great big vehicle with like tracks on it, like a tank, and it's just barreling through the content, like just...
Oh, that's awesome.
It's like your character you like, John. It's just always drilling through shit. And you're supposed to follow it. It's almost like in, follow the payload, sort of. Except it can take damage, and the creatures favor the machine over you, so you want to keep them off that thing because they're going to hurt it. They'll still attack you, but they're mostly about killing that tank. And you have so much fuel, so it gets you a certain distance. And then when you run out of fuel... Oh, we're out of fuel, gentlemen. Please go get the damn fuel, or whatever some voice says. Same voice that always talks to you. So you have to hop off of that thing, pull out the fuel canister. It's now like out in front of you like a great big canister, and it's got like a meter on it. You take that thing around, and you find old oil shale. It's like ancient rock that formed from old oil. And you got to aim at it and go, and then it lasers the oil shale out and into your canister. Take the canister back to the tank, shunk, and you have to do 2 of these. And all hell breaks loose, of course, while you're trying to do this. And that's really hard to solo. I don't recommend it. but as a group thing, it's great. Anyway, then you fill it up, and he's like, all right, we're ready to go. And then when the thing's hurt, you can hammer on it and repair it. And it shows damage and steam coming off of it when it's not working as you hammer it together and cleans it up. Keep driving that thing, and I think it's 2 or 3 phases of that. Really cool, like a really cool new mode. It was that, and just some of the regular modes that I played. But man, that game's great, dude. Freaking that game rocks. We should be playing more of that game. And I don't know why we ever stopped. It's amazing.
No, I don't know why either. I'm up for a revisit.
Oh, I think time in life, but yes, it's I love Dwarf Game. Yeah. That game I was having as much fun in that game when we stopped playing as I was when we started playing. That game was great.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
And we all just played a class. We never even tried other classes.
No, I kind of did solo and was like, oh no, I picked the right class.
Yeah. I like the engineer solo, and I like the big gunner when I'm with you guys. That's my kind of combo there. So I do a little bit of both, and I don't mind. I like solo in that game just because I like being alone on a giant rock looking for shit. There's something about that loop that I like. Don't have it on too hard a difficulty. You can kind of make it work. But grouping with strangers is easy. Grouping with friends is even better. It's just a great freaking game, and load times are better for some reason. Maybe it's just my hard drive, but it's great. That game.
Well, they may have optimized things. It's been out for a while now, and I think there's content we still didn't even do. They had like raid level stuff that we never got to.
Yeah, we never got to that.
Not raid, but like big missions,
Yeah, I think I just unlocked them, and it was no. You have to do a group with this, and yeah, that was right around the time we stopped.
Yeah.
Let's talk. We should
talk. We should play some more. It's really fun. And I just forgot how, I don't know, it's just so polished, and what a cool team. I want to see whatever they keep doing. Like, I'll follow those guys wherever they go.
Is there more beer? Does anyone know if they added new beer?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe. They might
That was
have.
also
Bo's got
exciting
his
part.
priorities in this game. He's like, I got to get my bartender license back up.
Yeah.
Well, my favorite thing is we drink beer and get drunk and all the different effects that happens when you shit fire sometimes, or based on what you buy, and then you just listen to music and be stupid before.
It's like real life. Yeah. That's what we do in real life every time.
I mean, it's a really good game. I miss it.
It really is good. Anyway, played a ton of that. Also played a bunch of ESO. Not a whole lot to say, but I am in the end game for the first real time. They have a Paragon system I did not know about. That game does a bad job of advertising this, because I had no idea until I got there. And I don't never see it written anywhere, and I guess I haven't dug that deep, honestly. But it's like Paragon. You get crazy bunch of points that you can now go put into different passives and actives and build it out like a Diablo 3 character in Paragon mode. And I didn't know that was there. So you hit 50, you just keep going. And
leveling never ends.
Kinda, yeah. But if you've ever, I also did some of my first raid and dungeon things in there. I thought that was really fun. What else? I saw a really cool dragon. Thought of John for a minute when I was in there. Anyway, it was a good time. It was cool. I'll keep at that, because now that I've dinged 50, it's just like, oh, there's new stuff, and I always like that in a game. Lawnmower Simulator. Played a bunch of that. Here's what they need to do to fix it. It's fun. It's great. In fact, there's very little to change, except it needs a variable throttle mode or something, like tap up a couple of times on the D-pad or down to lower it or something. Because right now, especially on keyboard controls, it's a 1-0 kind of on-off binary choice. When it's either full throttle or no throttle. On a controller, you do have analog throttle with the triggers, but there's not like a ton of difference between an open trigger and a closed trigger. So getting the exact right thing I'm giving myself freaking arthritis in that finger, I swear. I
feel like that would be something that would be very important to this game.
I agree.
Because
now,
I think if your game's premise is you're going to be sitting and driving around on a lawnmower, I think riding around on the lawnmower should feel good.
I agree. And here's the thing. If I could just full blast, hold the gas down and go, fine. That's fine. Slow when I need to do certain corners, whatever, that's fine. And most of the early game is that. So you don't really have to worry about the nuance of full blast or off, because those are the two settings. The problem is it started giving me missions that were like, all right, well, it's raining today, and this guy wants lower. He wants it's like at 12 centimeters right now. He'd like it down to like 5. So in real life, imagine that. You're in wet grass as it is. This has to be done that day in the rain. And you've got longer than usual grass, which means if you just barrel through full blast, you're going to clog it up. You're going to get stalled. You're going to ruin your engine. It's not good for a mower of any kind. And so I hit one of those stages and went, well, shit. I got to find the exact, and that keeps changing. And so finding the perfect throttle is really hard. And I was hurting my engine, and I kept throttling, too high, too low, too high. And it just was weird. And it occurred to me, and there's a bunch of complaints about this in their forum. So my guess is they end up fixing this, but they just need to have something that lets you go tick, 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 and just kind of set it. Think of like, Bo, like Elite Dangerous, where, there's levels of thrust, right? And you can scroll to the one you want, and then you're there, and pull back if you want, like a throttle, like that. Like, let me do that, and then I can find the perfect setting for when it's raining, when it's high grass, when it's whatever, and I don't feel like I'm fighting that damn controller. Up to this point, no issues at all, because I could kind of floor it. Now it's getting nuanced, and they don't have a nuanced control option, so they gotta do that. All right,
well, I hope they do that. That sounds like good feedback for it's still like at beta, right?
Yeah, it's out. It's a game. So,
but they should patch that.
They should fix that. I agree, especially for keyboard players who it wouldn't be hard. Just tap a key a few times and you're there. I don't know. It's weird. Banners of Ruin. I'll talk more about this on the Boop Show, but I wanted to mention it because it's another card battler, and it has really cool art with bears, mice, and weasels, and it's like serious art.
It's like a Secret of Nim sort of style.
Yeah.
Oh, I
right?
saw this. I looked
on my
at this
wish
for
list.
a Dear Martha review.
Yeah,
and
it's
then
cool.
It didn't get picked, but it looked great.
It's a cool game. Banners of Ruin. It's very much another one of these, right? Like we're starting to get a million of these now. But it's, Slay the Spire at its core. I think the art is really cool. And it's got some interesting ideas, a little bit challenging, position matters, and there's a bunch of stuff going on. Again, I won't get into that much detail, but if you're looking for a distraction,
The art is great though.
Yeah, the art's really neat. It's $15 is all too, so kind of a no-brainer.
I may get this. I was a little bit disappointed with Rogue Book, honestly.
Yeah, I didn't like Rogue Book like I thought I hoped that I was gonna.
I like the art. I mean, the art looks great. It's definitely an improvement art-wise, but I don't like the half your cards only work because of one character. I just felt like I had half a hand the whole time. I didn't like it.
Yeah, it's weird.
I want to be able to play all my cards,
I agree. Anyway, it's neat. I'll be playing more of that for sure because it's kind of got a hold on me. And the other thing I liked about it, it's got a loot system. I like when these games lean into loot and RPG mechanics and less just the card battling. This one definitely does that. It says, hey, what if some bunch of weasels you just killed, they dropped a bunch of shit and you want to swap out your sword because that one's better? Like, it's just got good.
Oh, yeah, I see. Okay, yeah, you're putting... Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, I like that.
I know exactly what you mean. Yeah.
So then you've got more... You got better base power to fight with because now your sword's better or your defense is better.
It's funny, like of all the games that we have talked about card battler wise, none of them do this, eh? Like you get items and
right,
you get graft items in Griftlands, but
right, no
itemization. I actually kind of really appreciate that about this game.
That was my big takeaway from this was that that's in here. Because if I had anything negative to say, I think that despite the beautiful art style, there's not a ton of animation to it. I really wish those characters would really move, but they kind of just sort of stab.
Final Fantasy it. They just go tick tick tick.
Kind of
like Final Fantasy 1.
Yeah, a little, but it's less. I mean, it's a little better than that, but it's not like they're not like beautifully animated the way Griftlands is, for example. Griftlands goes for a cartoon style, but their animation is amazing. This one's more like amazing art style, like incredible, like painterly style, but they're really not moving all that much, and it's okay. I also like how when you're traveling in the game, it travels with cards. So 3 cards come up, and this guy might be a guy to talk to about new stuff. This one might be a guy who's going to give you an enchantment before you leave. Or this right here is some sneaky hole in the side of a building. Ooh, let's go in there. And then you go inside there, 3 new cards come up. This card says wall, this card says wall, and in the middle, it's a tunnel. So you click tunnel, takes you further in. The walls you can't play until they turn into something. They're just walls. I don't know. It's a weird thing. It's cool how they do it. I really like it. I think they got some stuff going on that's unique and feels good. It just feels like I don't know. Feels more like my jam. So I'm enjoying it. And then finally, Ultimate Atom Caverns of Chaos. Do you guys ever hear of Atom, the old ASCII-based early 90s rogue game?
It's Rogue, basically. Right?
Yeah, basically it's Rogue. It was very
not
popular.
Rogue-like, it's Rogue.
Yeah. It was very popular at the time. Permadeath, you just play the best you can kind of game. Throws all kinds of shit at you. I shared a screenshot in our Slack earlier of a beehive I ran into, and it just murdered me. I was having the best run, too. I was so pissed.
That's my understanding of how beehives work, and it's why I avoid bees.
They were all elite bees. Like,
yeah,
20 or 30 elite bees are suddenly surrounding me, and there's no way I was going to survive that. I don't know.
I let a wasp land on my arm the other day, long enough to take a photo of it.
I saw that. That was brave. But according to your tweet, you were terrified.
Oh, yeah. I eventually knocked him off. But he was down there for a good 2 minutes.
You didn't eat him?
No, but he was crawling in my hair. I could see him like trying to have a hard time getting around, like my arm hair. Like it was like he wasn't on my skin. He was just standing on my arm hair, and he was like slipping and sliding all over the place. Like, man, this surface is really rough.
Well, watch out for bees because they'll get you in this video game. Anyway, it's really cool. One thing I wanted to say about it is it's got a kind of like Diablo 2 is going to do. It has a key. It's literally the G key, just like Diablo 2 Resurrected. When you hit it, it turns into an ASCII game. So the game is so much based on that original Rogue stuff that it is literally one of those underneath it all. And
like it's a graphical overhaul of the the base game remains the
Yeah.
same. It's like
Yeah. Yeah, and it's a really cool, fun overhead style, all the camera stuff you want to do for that. And, getting loot, killing rats, finding orcs, killing them, getting a big treasure chest full of shit you didn't see before, always randomized, always new, always different.
What platform is it on?
PC. That's where I'm playing it.
Oh, no, I mean, like, do you buy it on Steam? Or what?
Yeah, Steam. And I want to say it's cheap. I think it's cheap on Steam.
So it's Ultimate
ADOM or whatever. Caverns of Chaos will get you there.
Okay, yeah.
It's cool, dude.
Oh, it's early access.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I should have mentioned that. Yeah, they're getting close though.
Okay.
You might want to just wishlist it, but it's soon.
Yeah, I'm gonna wishlist it here.
Yeah, it's really cool, and it's definitely like that. They even have like an auto explorer key saying hit the C, and your dude will just run until he sees something that matters, either in a confrontation with a mob, or he might find something of significance like a rune on the floor or something like that. And so there's navigation wise, there's ways to sort of hurry things up. It's just got, I don't know, it's got some nice quality of life stuff going on. And I've always liked those games.
Right?
Yeah, the original game he made in like 94. It's one guy. I don't know about now, he may have a team, but his old 94 game was really popular in that world, and people are playing them on LANs and stuff. And anyway, it's really, really good.
Okay, so this is a 2015 release, ADOM, Ancient Domains of Mystery.
Oh, that's his first
Caverns
follow-up.
of Chaos is part 2.
Right. So his first follow-up from the old ASCII game was the 2015 one. Right. And now this is a follow-up to that. So
okay, because that one's reviewed well. So, I mean, it might be just good to play the 2015 one. I'm going to push this
it might be.
Anyways.
Might be. Anyway, like Caves of Quid or Cud or however you say it, hand sanitizer in the chat. That's exactly this kind of game. Totally one of these. Like all these roguelikes and lights and things that we're all playing all the time, their roots are in this thing that we're describing. This is where they all came from, this kind of game. All right, John, you've been playing the Final Fantasy and streaming it. How's it going there?
It's going really good. I finally dove into the Pixel remasters for Final Fantasy, the first one, the very original of Final Fantasies.
Yeah.
And I am blown away by what they've done with this remaster. I think it's one of the coolest takes on 8-bit pixel art updating for modern times that I've ever seen. Because, and this is the thing that I have felt through the entire thing ever since I started playing it, it is a game, and I included a YouTube link if you want to pull up video of somebody streaming it. I don't remember.
This isn't you playing?
Somebody was streaming it, yeah.
No, it's you. It's totally you.
Oh, good. Okay, good.
Yeah, this is John.
But the thing that I love about it is as I'm playing it, it's how I remember it on the NES. Now, obviously, it looks nowhere near this good. It was low res, just 8-bit, but this is what I remember the game. Like, this is what my head filled in as a child playing this game. And now I'm seeing it up on a bigger monitor, looking different, but it still feels like it's the same thing. And the coolest part about it is, as I was streaming it today, somebody said, "Man, I really love the new soundtrack too." And I stopped and I thought about it and I thought, "Oh my gosh, the sound is different. It does sound totally new."
Like better, or what do you mean?
Yeah, it's orchestral. It's not 8-bit sound. Like they've gone and actually put orchestral music to it, but they haven't gone so over the top and overblown that I'm sitting there going, "Oh, well, I don't like this. This doesn't fit at all." Like, it's simplified enough to where it feels like it belongs in the game, and it feels like those themes being played the way it should be played.
You have characters named John, Scott, Bo, and then you're making who's this black mage going to be down here?
It's going to end up being a white mage named Ben.
Oh, nice.
just picking some names at random.
Yeah.
It will end up being,
none of these are significant. They're not people that you know or anything.
No, I just picked some random names for characters and assigned them archetypes and classes. There we go. There's the crew. We have the adventures of John, Scott, Bo, and Ben.
Yeah.
A red mage, a warrior, a black mage, and a white mage.
Nice. It's a lot of mages. But
It's a lot of mages, but John, he's pretty good with a sword too. As a red mage, he's good at a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
He's our main character.
I do think it's hilarious that most of the time in a video game, I'm going to be an archer type, a ranged magic type, or some combination of those two. John has me as a warrior here, and you and Bo as mages, and then Ben as a mage. It just feels like everybody's a thing they might not be if they were real. If they were
okay.
real life.
Well, here's the logic behind it.
Okay,
Here's what I went with. There's a couple reasons.
All right.
First of all, Bo being the black mage, I think that's spot on.
Okay.
He dressed in a robe to do D&D. Like, he's a black mage through and through.
Yeah, it's pretty much my outfit on Saturdays.
Yeah,
For
it's
2
just
years, anyways.
If anybody
Sure.
is the class that's there, that one was locked in. All right, so
Yeah.
Bo is committed. He's gonna be our black mage. Now, I'll admit, for myself, I got to pick. I could be whatever I wanted to be. I'm not much of a warrior, even though that's kind of the default main character.
Mm-hmm.
I'm more of a thief as far as like classes I play, but I love in Final Fantasy, I love red mages and dragoons and thieves.
Yeah.
And
Dragoon's
dragoon
my
isn't
favorite.
in this,
Yeah.
and thief I was just like, but what if we went red mage?
Yeah.
It's got that fancy Stanley Billings quality to it. They all got fancy hats and capes and rapiers and the whole deal. So I went with red mage, so that's taken. Which meant we needed a tank.
Yeah.
We need a warrior. And Scott, that left either you or Ben. Ben is not a tank.
No.
He's never been.
No. I'll take it. I can do it. I like a sword now and again.
And so my other bit of logic is you're kind of a tank for frog pants in a lot of ways.
Sure.
You don't talk about doing this, Scott. I'm gonna out you right now.
Uh-oh.
To everybody.
Uh-oh.
Scott, and my chat pointed this out when I said it. He doesn't advertise this. But for anybody who's on his show,
Yeah.
Scott acts as a filter for all the trolling and BS that comes through.
That
So
is
that
thinking.
the only thing that comes through to the other people who work with him is constructive feedback, something that's so over the top he knows we'll all laugh at it,
Yeah.
or genuine praise.
Yeah. That's true.
And I know for a fact that Scott sees a lot more than that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he tanks it. He takes it all. He takes
right.
it all for his co-host. And
That's
it's
right.
a wonderful thing that he does.
Oh,
And
okay.
so to
Now
me,
this makes sense. Now
he's
I
a
get
tank.
It. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I gotta say, pretty weird seeing Xbox button prompts in a Final Fantasy
Yeah.
game. It's really weird.
Yeah.
Really weird. Like,
But I mean, it looks and sounds great. Like, that's the thing. This game, it has cool effects on the water to where there's like a light reflection on it. Like, they've put in like modern effects, but in an old school kind of way, like without stepping so far out of the zone that you go, well, this is completely ridiculous. Like,
Yeah.
this is beyond the norm.
yeah.
Yeah, you could make this in Game Maker, couldn't you?
Yeah. Yeah, Bo.
You probably could. You probably could. Here you go, Bo. Here's your chance.
Yeah. Look at you. Getting excited.
But as far as the gameplay goes itself, I mean, this is the original Final Fantasy, and the thing that I have had a hard time coming to terms with is how much the series has evolved since this point in the game.
Right.
Because the game plays so differently. It doesn't use MP or magic power. Like, there are spell slots, full on D&D style.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to learn to cast a spell, you go to a shop, you buy the spell. There are usually 4 spells per spell level, and you can learn 3. So you have to pick which ones you want to know, and you don't get to know all of them. And when you cast them, you use a spell slot, and you have that many slots before you have to rest. If your character dies, you don't get to just go rest in an inn and have them come back. You have to take them to a church for a resurrection, which they charge you for, and bring them back that way. If you get poisoned, you don't sleep off the poison. You have to use an antidote, or you have to know magic that can actually cure it. Like, it's brutal, and a lot of the stuff that would eventually go on to become kind of staples for the series don't exist in this game. And as a result, it feels very much like, I mean, when you consider that this was a game on the NES, you see why it was so successful, because it feels like a D&D adventure.
Yeah.
You know, you're given basically a quest. They're like, hey, we gotta This princess
Kill
got
chaos.
stolen. This princess got stolen. You got to go kill chaos, and you're like, all right, well, I got to go kill chaos. Let's go do it.
Yeah. Chaos. Chaos.
Which, by the way, yes, that game is based on this game's story. So
Yeah, and
it
that's
hasn't
why-
happened yet, but I will at some point, I'm sure, kill chaos, and
Yeah.
I'm so excited for it.
I love it.
And it's neat. It's really neat. Like, it's old. It's not perfect. There are a lot of random battles. Like, if you hate getting jumped while exploring, like, oh man, like, this is a game where you fail every perception check in the world because you can't go more than 10 seconds without a random battle. But they do add an auto battle feature where basically it will redo whatever the last set of moves you issued to your characters were.
Yeah.
So if you're kind of over leveled for a place and you just do attack on all 4 characters, you can just hit X. It speeds through the animation, so you'll go through the fight faster, and you don't have to input the commands yourself.
Oh, that's
It'll
a
just
cool
do it
idea.
automatically.
That's really great.
But it even works with magic. So if I go, okay, well, we'll have Scott attack, we'll have John attack, we'll have Ben heal somebody, and we'll have Bo cast the spell, I can lock that in, and they'll repeat those commands every time a battle comes up. But again, with the way the spells work, you kind of don't want to blow through your spells super fast.
Yeah.
So it's been a very authentic update. My understanding is from what was there, they have done some quality of life improvements as well as some exploit squashing. So there was I guess a place where it was very easy to power level in the first game. They've removed that, but then they've done other things like in the original game, let's say you told everyone in your party to attack the top ogre and multiple ogres appeared. If the top ogre died after the first 2 characters attacked, the next 2 would hit nothing and they would miss. Like, they only knew to hit what you told them to do. So you had to actually kind of play this guessing game of, am I going to kill the creature or not? This game doesn't do that. Your characters will automatically attack the next monster over if it dies. So they've done a little quality of life cleanup here to make the game a little more user friendly, but by and large, it's the same way it was on the NES.
Yeah. Wow. That's cool. And you're going to keep going through all these, right? This is the plan. You're going to...
That's the plan. I mean, by all accounts, Final Fantasy 1 is a bit on the shorter side compared to the series.
Yeah.
So we made good progress today. I killed the Elf King, the Dark Elf King. It was actually a fun little story twist that I was genuinely surprised by, as stupid as it was. Like, it was so dumb, but I got so into it where it was just like, everybody was telling me about this dark elf causing trouble, and then out of nowhere there was just this king that was like, bring me a crown. I was like, all right, well, I guess I'll bring him a crown. I brought him a crown, and he's like, surprise, I was the dark elf all along. And I was genuinely shocked by it. So it's neat. I'm having a great time with it, and I'm seeing how much it, on the other side of the spectrum, I'm seeing how much love and reverence games like Final Fantasy XIV have for this.
Yeah.
Because there are so many references and connections and through lines. Like, it's not a sequel. Final Fantasy's never been direct sequels, but there've always been those like echoes. You know, there's always a Cid and, you know, stuff like that.
Sure.
Seeing names crop up again and getting the references has been really nice and a good way to appreciate even in 14.
Well, because 14 is, if it has any deep roots, it's this, right? Like the original ass concepts of castles and chocobos and, you know, like this era, not the dudes in a car driving in 15 or, you know, whatever 7's setting was. Like, we're not talking about that. Like, it feels like 14 owes way more to this Final Fantasy than anything else, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I would say the DNA is definitely stronger in the NES and Super NES era of Final Fantasy. But I honestly, Final Fantasy 14 is a love story to all Final Fantasies. You can even get the car that you're talking
That's
about
true,
from
yeah.
15 in 14.
I saw a dude riding that around today when I was in there. So
So
weird.
It's about to be back in the game. I'm so excited, Scott.
Oh,
I think
really?
next month I can get that car. I want that
Oh,
car
my
so bad.
Lord.
It transforms when it flies.
Yeah, that's what I hear. It's better than 14 chocobos, so I think that's great. Get a car.
Yeah.
All right, there you go then. Keep your eye on John's John _ Jagger on the Twitch, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
the underscore is on everything now. So yeah, John_Jagger, Jon, no H. H people get out of here.
Yeah.
Just good old fashioned
H out.
Jon. If you want to watch him play through that game, all right. Hey Bo, let's talk about Pokemon Unite and how you are finally to a point in that game, I think, where you can start to shed some light on how that game intends to make money, because it's a free to play game, and now you know. So should I be worried?
I've also apparently played 9 days already.
Oh my god!
Like you get some. There's a battle pass quest. Counts. You have to log in for 14 days, and then you get some battle pass points. And I've already done 9 days, and I was like, really? It's been 9 days?
Yeah, that's a lot.
Wow.
Wait, 9 24-hour days, right?
Yep.
Wow. So
it's 9 consecutive days. So it's been 9 days since I bought my Switch, and I've logged in all 9 of those days to play Pokemon Unite.
Yeah, is that 560? No, that's not right. Never mind. Forgive me. I was trying to figure out the math, but you already.
I didn't play 24 hours a day.
Right. Of course not. So this is just you logging in every day.
Yeah. Even the one day where I played very little, I brought the Switch to bed. By the way, that is great functionality, but very bad functionality for sleep. You're like, well, it's midnight, I should go to sleep. And you're like, well, let me just grab a Pokemon game. And the next thing you know, it's 2 in the morning, and you're like, I said it. Why did I bring this to bed with me? Shit.
Welcome to the party. Yep.
But that piece of hardware is pretty cool.
It's pretty
I
cool,
gotta
right?
say. It's pretty. It just doesn't feel. It's a phone, but it doesn't feel like a phone. It feels like a proper console. I'm pretty impressed with it overall. I had a feeling I would be, but I don't know.
It's very cool. I mean, I'm portable all the time because I ended up with the Lite, and it's devious.
The only thing I can't get over is the eShop lags. Like I'm like,
oh, their
why?
shop is horrendous. There's
like,
no reason.
Why is this lagging? Like,
there's no reason for it. It's bad. It's just non-optimized and bad. They didn't plan on being as big as it got, as quick as they got with indies and a million other titles. And they've just never fixed it. It's not a priority, and I don't know why. It's the worst. The worst.
The password situation. You can't save the password. So if you accidentally back out of the shop and got to go back in, you got to retype your password in.
Well,
again.
yeah, actually, you can. There is a setting someplace where you can say, "Don't log me out every time I get out of the store." So you can do that.
Setting.
Yeah,
I
had to do that myself. I had to actually search for it to find it. And
I think I've typed the password in 40 times now.
Yeah, you don't want to do that. But man,
anyways,
such a bad store. That store is garbage. But
so.
Yet here we are.
On the Pokemon Unite
account
thing.
system isn't much better.
No, that's just Nintendo.
No, it's they need to fix it. But back to Pokemon Unite. I'm sorry if I'm a little speaking a little sluggishly because I'm starting to
it's starting to hit you.
Yeah, it's starting to hit me.
That's
it
what
just hit me
happens.
10 minutes ago. I was like, oh shit. All that Pokemon Unite. There hasn't been a night I haven't gone to bed at 2 a.m. and I'm up at 8. So I'm just
I mean, that's what you said last night when I jumped into your Twitch stream was, John's here. I must be up later than I'm supposed to be.
Well, yeah, so I had to stay up late last night because I needed to get to Veteran, which I did. But
oh, well done.
Anyways, the feeling I have is this. For a Heroes player, I don't know what it's like if you're from League or Dota or another MOBA, but it feels like Heroes just released 10 or 20 new heroes and a new map.
Yeah.
So I think if Heroes actually had a big content drop, I'd probably be really interested. So this game is hard for me not to play.
Yeah.
Based on that alone. I just hit Veteran in Ranked.
Nice.
And I've been playing with Kyle and playing with Tweep, who's a listener. So that's been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
That's the equivalent of Platinum. So I'm going for Master. I got to get through Platinum, got to get through Diamond, got to hit Master. We'll see where I plateau.
Do you feel like the game is now telling you, hey, if you want to do any better than this, y'all better be spending the money in here?
Well, so here's the thing. You do have to spend money. You don't have to, sorry. There is items, and items do level from 1 to 30, and they get crazy expensive, and there's a lot of them. The thing is, they're very incremental in value, so they're not that necessary. Getting them up to level 10 is cheap. You can do it with all the free in-game stuff they give you as a new player. So, no, you don't have to spend money. But there's some really bad gacha stuff in here. So, you know how in Heroes you earn gold for playing games? So, you earn AOS coins in this game.
AOS?
Yeah, Eos is the world things are from, and John's name of his character. And
Eos. Eos? Okay, that I heard of.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't. Yeah, it's a famous World of Warcraft rogue. It's a Blood Elf rogue.
I may have heard of him. He's known the world over.
So there's gold in this game.
Yeah.
That you earn from matches, called Aos coins. And, and anyways, unlike Heroes, there's a cap. There's a weekly cap. So once you earn up to like 2 or 3K or something like that, they stop giving it to you. You earn 0. Not a big deal, right? Well, the in-game item shop has a boost where you get double gold per match.
Oh.
But it limits it. Like, even without the boost, you'll earn it in like a couple days, depending on how much you play. And so you got 4 or 5 days with no benefit. Why would you buy a 7? There's a 1-day boost, a 3-day boost, a 7-day boost. That's bad. And so I accidentally bought the boost without knowing about the cap first. So I spent probably a couple bucks on nothing. I'm earning no double.
Oh man,
I'm earning nothing, and I'm like, oh,
that would piss me off.
So there's some bad stuff in there that hopefully people are complaining about that they fix.
Yeah.
But apart from the store and the awful amount of menus, game's really fun, and all the heroes are well done. So I'm just addicted.
It's a great game.
I played a lot.
Yeah.
In the past.
You're not the only one in this world. Apparently, that thing really took off when it hits mobile in September, early September. All bets are off. It's going to be enormous, and be maybe one of the biggest things Pokemon's ever done. So good job.
I didn't put it on my list, but I've been playing a decent amount of it.
Yeah,
I
same.
play a game and I quit forever, pretty frequently. But that is the current pattern. Is I play a game and then I go, I'm done. I'm not playing this game anymore. And then I'll play it again the next day, and then I go, stupid game, I hate it. I quit.
Yeah, I win too often. I win a lot, but whenever I lose, I'm like, well, I'm not touching you, and then I play it again.
I have found if I play by myself, I win a lot. If I play with other people, I lose a lot. So
interesting.
It only feeds like frustration towards people I care about. So it's like I would have. They would have let me play against children.
Yeah.
Children.
Back to Pokemon Go.
Well, all right. I love that lady. Listen to this.
Back to Pokemon Go.
Pokemon Go. All right. Excellent. Anything new about Sea of Thieves or Disco? You just still playing them?
No. I put in some sessions on them, but nothing much to report. My week has all been about the Pokemon Unite.
Yep. Well done.
And so if you want to talk about that, I got lots to say. If not, we can just move along.
Well, we'll move on so that we can get you to
played anything else.
We got to get you to bed. All right. How about this? A couple of quick emails. I like doing these.
That's a good question.
This one here from Wes. He sent it to talktothecore@gmail.com. That's talktothecore@gmail.com. He says, I hate Scott. Not really. That was the subject.
Wow.
My dearest Core.
Why does it start that way?
Well, you'll find out. It says, my dearest Core, I'm a bit like Scott in that I always check in and get free games on Epic. I usually don't play them, though, and I definitely wasn't interested in Ironcast. That game looked like hot garbage to me. Thanks to Scott's recommendation, however, I gave it a whirl. This Match 3 meets FTL/Into the Breach has now consumed my life. I don't have time for that, but I can't stop. I hate you for doing this to me. Love you all and the great work you do, Wes. I told you guys that game is good, and I should have compared it to FTL because he's right. There's FTL in it. It's got a little taste of the old FTL. Big mechs in a freaking steampunk era with a little bit of the Into the Breach in there. He's right about that too. It's a badass game. I'm just saying. People should play that game. There's loot in that game. There's itemization in that game. Ooh.
Rebel Galaxy is the free game right now.
Yeah, it is right now. I have that.
I logged in just because this is usually my reminder to log in and get whatever the free game is. But
yeah.
I already have Rebel Galaxy.
I do
but
too.
that's a fantastic game.
It is a great game. Yeah, and the sequel's good too. I wish the sequel was free because I wish more people played that. Doug Christina says in our final email, now that Twitch has given the green light to hot tub streaming, what are you guys waiting for?
I mean,
hot tub.
I'm stealing something yourself has said, Scott, but I'm pretty sure you and Randy started hot tub streaming.
Yeah,
so.
I think we did before it was a thing, and before we streamed. We didn't stream it, but we recorded a podcast in a hot tub, or did we?
It's a great regret that we didn't do a hot tub.
Yeah.
The hot tub was a really good idea that didn't come to fruition.
There's going to be a lot of guys. Maybe it's good that we didn't do it. We'd get Crosby suited or something. All these guys in a hot tub like 10 years later. So not that we're like that, but I don't know. Yeah. So maybe it's a bad idea. We were going to do it with the Lords of the Storm, and I don't think Kyle and Garrett would have agreed to do it, but they were included.
Yeah.
Did you know about this?
No,
Scott,
I didn't.
We were all gonna get in a hot tub and do a podcast, like a a Marvel crossover
I
event.
think
No.
this is something that we just talked about with a couple other people.
I
I
don't
don't think this
Oh,
became
it
a
wasn't a
widespread
and we were gonna call
idea.
it hot tub because it's Heroes of the Storm tub.
I
It
love
was
that
going to be an
idea.
homage to the instance hot tub episode, and we were going to record, get all the heroes podcasters in a hot tub together to record Hot's Tub.
That's an amazing
And
idea.
you were included in this plan. I guess we never told you.
Yeah,
but
I was never informed of my role or potential role in.
you were probably busy, and we weren't that as busy. So this is what we did with our downtime, which is like concoct harebrained schemes like
Sure.
the hot tub.
I was trying to find that. I have that image somewhere, but I can't.
Honestly,
find
though,
it.
Doug, I really don't. I mean, I shouldn't be like this, but I don't think people want to see me in a hot tub.
I don't know. I mean,
I don't
you're a
think
handsome
so.
man. You got cool flowing hair. You got
Yeah, like from the neck up, but like I'm
got
gonna put
nipples.
on a pair of shorts and show off, show off this thing that I refer to as a body. Like I don't know about that. Like, you want to see ground hamburger and hot dog? But I appreciate the enthusiasm, I suppose.
Yeah.
But
I was in a
I
public
don't know,
pool the
man.
other day, and I felt real dumb in there. I felt really gross. I looked bad. And plus,
You were in a public pool.
yeah, we were at a pool, and I'm so white anyway, so I just look like just a big fish. It's not good. It's a bad
Yeah,
look.
public pool is rough because you're thinking about pee and poop particles all the time. Even though
Yeah.
there's chlorine, it's just hard.
Well, this is one
It's
of those
hard not
salt
when you
ones.
actually take a gulp and you're like, there could have been urine in there.
This
I
is
don't
one of
know.
those salt, not that changes, but it's one of those salt sodium ones. So it's supposed to be
Okay.
better at killing stuff.
Yeah,
but I still
my
don't trust it.
parents' pool is a saltwater pool.
Yeah.
I think we need
But it
to
doesn't
believe
change
that.
the fact that you're like you're swimming in people soup.
Yeah, you still are in people soup. Yeah.
Like, it's not so bad when it's family. 'Cause at least like it's your mom's pee or something. You're like, whatever.
It's your
like,
mom's pee.
strangers pee. Like, I don't. Why would swimming at my brother's house? They have a salt pool. I don't know what happened in there.
It'd be okay if it was your mom's pee.
Or whoever, my brother or his boyfriend, or I'm not worried. I'm not too worried about the fecal matter, I guess, situation. I don't stress about it,
I don't know
but
why
I would
that's
stress
so
at a
funny.
public pool.
It's so funny to me. I don't
Yes,
know
it
why.
makes it better. I don't want strangers peeing. I mean, I'm just being honest.
No,
the
you're
idea
right.
doesn't
You're
seem
right. No,
good to me.
if somebody
But,
said
like,
to you, if someone pinned you down and said, "Look, Bo, either way, you're gonna have pee in your mouth. Now you can choose. It's your mom's pee, or it's this, fat guy up the street. Which pee do you
yeah,
want?"
it's my mom's pee.
You're gonna
I
take
mean,
your
who knows?
mom's
That
pee.
pet guy's pee might smell like sausage. I'm pretty sure my mom's okay though. Like,
Yeah, but okay, but is your mom gonna know you made this choice? Like, is this gonna like
she doesn't listen to
layover
this show.
family
She doesn't like video
gatherings
games.
forevermore? Like you're at Thanksgiving and you just have to look at each other and know, yeah, it was her pee.
It was your pee, Mom. It was your pee.
I mean, I don't know. I don't want to. I'm just saying if it happens, it's less psychologically stressful. To
I
me.
get
I mean,
that,
I've been
yeah.
peed on before.
Yeah. And you
My
came
brother,
from her.
My brother and I bunked together, so he was in a bunk bed. And he was 10 years younger than me, so he was a little guy and trying to get to bed. At one point, he was climbing down the ladder and he just lifted up his nightshirt and pissed on me. Like, that stuff happens when you're boys. Like, it's, And we laugh about it to this day. Remember the time Jake peed on you? And he also barfed on one side and then it ran down into my bed below. It sucked being on the bottom bunk. Actually peed on me twice. He's a little kid. Like, he's 10 years younger than me. He's like 4 or 5. And, pee mistakes happen
is the
at that
best
age.
thing.
But it happened on me, unfortunately, a couple times.
This went places here at the end.
You're welcome, Doug.
Yeah, Doug. Is your brother? Oh no, this is the guy's name, Doug. Doug in our.
You're thinking of Korg Doug.
There you go. Well, thank
Doug
you.
used to be here, but he got killed by Hulk.
Thank you, Doug. And now you know which pee Bo would prefer if given a choice. All right. I have so many questions about that, but I'm not going to ask them because we're out of time. That's going to do it for the show. Big thanks, everybody, for listening. And also, those emails are great. Keep them coming. talktothecore@gmail.com. If you have a thought, feeling, request, review of a game, something you think we should be playing, did we contradict ourselves? Did we say something wrong today? That's cool, too. We're happy to take it on the head. Just let us know via email. talktothecore@gmail.com. This show is brought to you by you at patreon.com/core show. Without your support, it doesn't happen. So if you haven't already done so, head on over there and chuck a couple bucks our way. We'd love it if you did. That's patreon.com/core show. Frogpants.com/core is our website. Talktothecore@gmail.com. And once again, find us on Twitter. CorePod, John_Jagger, Scott Johnson, and Bo Schwartz. If you want to watch us all stream, you can find John at that same name, John_Jagger. I'm at Frogpants, and you can find Bo at Bo Schwartz, right?
Yes.
Okay. The Goforath is gone.
Me.
That's not there anymore, right?
I'm still Gorath, but that's not my handle. At Bo Schwartz.
All right.
He
Good.
still plays the pre-roll about it, which I appreciate.
Oh, I like that too.
Yeah.
That's
It's
cool.
legendary. How could I not?
How could you not? Let me ask you this question before we go. Bo, any final thoughts before I shut this down?
Yeah, just if your brother's peeing on you from the bunk bed, just close your mouth. Just the first thing that you should do, just make sure the mouth is closed.
Yeah, but the caveat is that's still better than the neighbor's pee. If it's your brother's pee, that's better than your neighbor's pee.
brothers. If you had to choose between two pee to get peed on with, families, they go with family, man.
Yeah, go with family pee every time. John, final wisdom words.
I guess I understand that, because let me tell you, if you want to become okay with bodily fluids on you, have a baby.
Yeah.
Because let me tell you, you get comfortable about a lot of things you didn't think you'd be comfortable with very quickly.
Oh yeah, it's in the trenches. It's the place to be if you're trying to get used to gross things. Have a kid.
Yep.
Do that. Great final thoughts here today on the show. Thank you all for listening. And we'll be back next time. I don't know what that was, Bo. You all right over there?
Well, that was me stifling a laugh because you're like, that was great thoughts on the show, but it sounded like you're like, man, what the hell am I doing?
No, it was great. I really enjoyed them.
I thought that was a Scott clip. I was
Yeah.
like, when did he capture that for?
Yeah, I don't know what the hell that was. All right. Have a fantastic week, everybody. We'll see you next time right here on Core.
This show is part of the Frog Pants Network. Yes. Get more at frogpants.com.
Back to Pokemon Go.
All right.